Our contributors now, Christie, former governor of New Jersey, former mayor of Chicago, Rahm, Emanuel, and Chris, let me begin with you. You were last year on Tuesday, before we had seen the memo of the president's phone call. You said if he had said to the Ukrainian president, do me a favor, look into Biden, it would be a serious problem. Turns out that's exactly what he said.
Listen, you know, the bottom line, George, is that that's the way he is. That's the way he talks. As I said to you, we're off air. You know, maybe I was even channeling, the way I normally hear him speak. I think in the end,
channeling your inner Trump.
No, I was channeling him. No inner Trump here. But what I'd say to you is that he is convinced, absolutely convinced, that there's absolutely nothing wrong with what he said. And that he was said in the context of the entire corruption problem in Ukraine. That's his position. So no one should expect that he's going to say anything differently over the course of time.
But you didn't hear Republicans yesterday on Capitol Hill agreeing with that. You didn't hear defense of what the president was doing.
I'm saying the two things at the same time, George. You know, I said what I said on Wednesday. I'm telling you what the president is saying. And what the president's saying is perfect conversation. No problem. That's going to be his position. And here's the problem for the Democrats on this, is that when Adam Schiff does what he did yesterday, it doesn't help their cause. When he starts the hearing by kind of making up dialogue that he wishes would have happened between the president of Ukraine and the president of the United States, it makes the whole thing look like a circus. That's helpful to Trump, not helpful to the Democrats' cause.
You've been on both sides of this. You were in the White House defending during President Clinton's impeachment. You've been a member of the House Democratic leadership. How should the Democrats act going forward as they push on impeachment?
Two things. One, there's 5 C's you got to keep in order. There's a call, there's coercion, there's a cover-up, there's a complaint, and there's a computer. Follow each of those streams. Be steady, studious, and strategic in your approach. And whatever you do not prejudge the judgment of the American people. And if you if you put the politics in front of the approach, you're going to run into trouble. That's what happened in '98.
So just the facts.
Just go to the facts on each of the streams. The call, the coercion part, the cover-up part, the computer part, and the complaint part. And if you do that and do it steady and just get the material out, then, and I think Speaker Pelosi being reluctant and then all of a sudden coming to this, and she's done it as an institutional. If you try to put politics ahead of the policy, you'll get caught, and that's what happened in '98 to the Republicans.
On the third C right there, cover-up. That could end up being, as it almost always is in these situations, a far more serious charge here.
Well, listen, I think there's no doubt that you got to get, if you're the White House, to me, job one today is to get to the third C. If there's something there, and we don't know, it's second and third hand information from a whistleblower, but it's pretty specific
deemed
stuff.
Credible by the Inspector
General.
Right,
but it's pretty specific stuff, but you don't know what's behind it. Who are the White House lawyers? Who are the White House senior officials? We've gone through this before, right? But if I were there, I'd be saying to them, Project One, find out what that is. Find out what that is, because if you want to reveal it. If there's something there, you want to reveal it. You don't want to hear it on Capitol Hill.
Here's the thing I would say. That is of the 5 C's. I would pursue this. But we learned something yesterday. This is not the first phone call or first foreign leader that's ever been put away in that computer. And that computer is not for the president's family treasures. So don't go chasing it. Stay steady on this piece. But there is other material in that computer which is not used in the national security in the Situation Room for the presidential phone calls. That's for the most important intelligence material.
Right. Isn't that the biggest danger now for the president? You're getting at it in your answer. What we don't know about what happened.
And here's the thing. He can't not know. Okay? If you're the guy in charge, you got to say to people, I need to know everything so I can make judgments on what to do. And here's the problem with yesterday. The problem with yesterday was they did the exact opposite in the Intel Committee yesterday of what Rahm's recommending. What Rahm's recommending is smart, and what they did yesterday was dumb.
Can I tell you what they're making a mistake on, having been on this side? This is where Trump's going to work against Trump. Trump thinks he is the best seller of Trump. And what we did in the Clinton years was President Clinton always said when the reporter says, look, I know what to the reporters, you have to do your job, but I have to do my job for the American people, and I'm going back to work. And we walled it off. Donald Trump is going to try to own and defend Donald Trump, and he's going to be the worst lawyer, the worst client, and he's already, his own instincts are working against him.
Here, last thing on this is, from me, is that may be true in part because he's had done that in the past, but that's different than what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you're the guy in charge, and he's got to know what's behind that whistleblower complaint.
For both parties, there's peril and promise in how they handle it.
Exactly.
That's where we have to end it. Thanks, guys.